Kris, how are you, buddy?
Morning, Mr. Sullivan. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Want to talk a little high school baseball. Obviously, you guys got some tough news at the start of the season that your ace, Mike Vestoria, was going to miss the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. Kind of put some pressure on guys like yourself and Billy Chalari, but you guys have been coming through.
Yeah, well, you never can replace a guy like Mike. He's just so part of a team, but we all got to put more weights on our shoulders. Catalano's stepping up. Billings is stepping up. Me and Billy are putting more on. Paul Maduri. Everybody's just giving in more.
What's it like playing baseball at the Prep? Obviously, there's always high expectations at that school, and you guys are expected to compete for championships every year. Does that pressure ever get to you, or you kind of feed off that and want to reach those expectations every year?
We love the pressure. We know we're getting everybody's number one ace, and everybody's going to give us their full effort, and I think we always love to live up to the challenge.
How do you feel like this season has gone so far? You're about 3 weeks in, and you guys are sitting atop the Cape Atlantic League American standings. Mainland kind of breathing down your neck. You scored a win over those guys recently. A team like Millville kind of hanging around, and some of these other schools playing some pretty good baseball. It hasn't been easy for you guys, but you guys are getting the job done.
Yeah, well, everything's really coming together at this point of the season. Everybody knows their role. Lineup's starting to solidify, and I think we have a good shot for winning the Cal.
What was anything said after that loss last week to Millville, 13-11 in 11 innings? Was that a turning point at all in the season, or did you guys kind of turn the page pretty quickly after that one?
I would say that was a turning point. We kind of used that as motivation for the rest of the season, being that we had the game and we gave it away. So we kind of used it as motivation not to let it ever happen again.
How tough was that for you mentally to get past that game? Obviously, you did. You came out and shut down Mainland. Only allowed one run in that game. Did you have to do a little bit of soul searching after that game, or was it not that big of a deal?
Well, I knew I didn't have my stuff that day, and it really disappointed my teammates. But I worked harder the rest of the week, and I used it as motivation, and I just got the fire in me, and I just let it go against Mainland.
What did Coach Mike Bailone tell you after that game against Millville? Did he kind of pull you aside at all, or was it game like that just turn the page?
Yeah, Coach pulled me aside after and told me that he knew that wasn't my best stuff, but he wanted me to rebound well in the next game, and I just tried to do it for him.
Well, I guess that's kind of a big part of being a varsity pitcher is being able to take a game where you don't play well and be able to forget that real quickly and come out the next game. How much did you learn from that experience? And you got to be proud of yourself for being able to rebound like that and come out with a strong outing the next game.
Yeah, well, it felt terrible giving up all those runs against Millville, and I never want to feel the same way again, and now I know what I have to do to not let it happen again, so that's what I'm going to try and do for the rest of the season.
We're talking with Kris Morgenweck from St. Augustine Prep. Kris, you've also been hitting the ball pretty well this year. How difficult is that when you're kind of now relied on to be one of the top pitchers as well as a guy in the heart of the order? Do you have to spend a little extra time in practice on both things? How do you balance all that?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of guys who are pretty dual players. Every one of our pitchers is also a hitter. Jay Catalano bats second, Bill Charolari bats fifth, and we have a couple other guys who also can pitch that play the field. So we all kind of trying to balance both, and I believe that we like the pressure of trying to do it ourselves.
Talk about this kid, Billy Chalari, real quick. I've been impressed with him. I've seen him a couple times over the last couple of years, and he just always seems to have command of the game, even if he's not throwing real well. He's the type of pitcher that can put two guys on, get a strikeout, a pop-up, and a ground out, and be out of it, in the blink of an eye. And that's got to be cool to watch him pitch and kind of learn from how he's – I always call it mound presence, a guy who can sort of – control the game even when things aren't going great and be able to get the outs when he needs them. And that's got to be a cool thing to watch, from the field and see. Know that even if he does get in trouble, he's going to be out of it real quick.
Yeah, Billy's one of my best friends, and just being in the field for him, there's nobody else I'd want to have on the mound. Even when he doesn't have his stuff, he still is going to get the guy out because he knows how to do it mentally, even though if he doesn't have it physically. And I'm just trying to learn as much as I can with him the last year that we're going to play together.
How tough is his changeup to hit in batting practice?
Oh, my. During tryouts, he threw me one. I just whiffed, totally whiffed.
It's like the old Bugs Bunny thing where you swing 3 times and then the pitch comes in.
Oh yeah, he knows how to deal with me. It's easy for him.
It's good to have a guy like that on your team and not have to face him, right?
Yeah, thank God.
Who's the toughest pitcher you faced in your career?
Well, today's going to be a pretty tough one against Tyler Mondile from GC. But last year we faced John Murphy from GC, who now pitches for Maryland, and Luca Delatri, who's committed to North Carolina from CBA. They were probably the toughest pitchers I've ever faced.
What's that like when you face a guy throwing low 90s? I mean, I faced a few guys in college throwing around 91, 92, and man, that's humming.
Yeah, well, you just know you got to get your foot down early, and got to look for a fastball, obviously, then adjust to the off-speed, but it's a lot tougher, obviously, than hitting a slower pitcher.
I remember thinking I faced this one guy from UNC Charlotte, big lefty throwing about 92. I said, hey, if I see white, I'm swinging.
Yeah.
That's kind of the mentality you have to have, right?
Right.
How do you feel like you've progressed as a pitcher? I know you've been kind of more of a hitter throughout your career, but you got some experience on the hill last year and really coming along as one of the better pitchers in the Cal. How do you see yourself as more of a pitcher or more of a hitter?
I don't really know. I'm doing both next year at the University of Sciences, and I just try to give my all in both and try and do whatever the team needs.
University of Sciences, baseball players aren't supposed to be smart.
Yeah.
What are you going to be studying up there?
Major in physical therapy. I'm going to get my doctorate.
Awesome. What's the academic course load like at the prep? I mean, obviously there's some high expectations academically as well. There, do you find it tough to balance everything?
The first 2 years, it was really tough to be able to deal with all the honors and AP courses, but throughout, the help that they give you with study halls and extra help with teachers, I think I've been able to master it.
Yeah, they don't want to hear that you had a late night coming home from a baseball game, right?
Right, yeah, there's no excuses.
No excuses out there at the prep, right?
Right.
What do you think this team is capable of? Obviously, you guys are in first place right now in the Cal American, and but this is going to be a tough year. Obviously, in that conference, you have some real tough teams, and even in the Cal National you've played teams like Ocean City in the past, and even teams like Absegami, Egg Harbor Township play you guys tough. What's it like just kind of trying to navigate your way through that schedule?
Yeah, well, it starts with the Cal. We got a couple guys in Ocean City, Mainland, Millville. Other schools are all really tough to face. And then once we get past the Cal, we have the Diamond. Then you play teams all from South Jersey, like Eastern we played last year. And then once we get up to the state playoffs, we have teams ranked top 30 in the nation. But I think we have a chance to do it all this year. We always talk about that one goal, having the ring on our finger, state championship, and I think we have the shot of doing it.
What do you think about South Jersey baseball this year? We've talked a lot about that in the last couple of weeks, and just the amount of talent. You look around, and I'm sure a lot of these guys from travel ball and just from playing them in the high school season. Seeing all these guys going to big time schools, North Carolina, Maryland, NC State, and it's got to be cool to be playing high school baseball at a time like this where there's so much talent in South Jersey.
Yeah, well, when my brothers played back in the day, I don't remember guys going ACC, SEC, all schools like that. But I feel great about it. I think it really helps the whole state in the long run because we're getting a lot more respect for South Jersey, and it's really raised the level of competition here.
Any bit of senioritis setting in yet?
Well, that's going to happen. But we're trying to. Everyone on the team's really trying to just finish out and keep it going.
Yeah, you get to around April, May, the school year. You're kind of like, let's get this thing over with, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's got to be an exciting time in your life, though. I mean, you're looking forward to college, but you still want to finish out your high school career strong. And does it feel like it's going real quick for you? I know I talk to a lot of high school kids, and they get to be seniors, and they're like, man, where'd the last 4 years go? Yeah,
well, I feel like yesterday I was just playing football in September, but I mean, it's already only got a month left, and I want to graduate and have fun, but I also want to play the last couple games with my brothers, so I don't know which one I want more.
Who's the funniest guy on the prep roster, when you're on bus rides to away games?
Well, the funniest guy has to be a mix between, I'd say, Mike Vistoria and Bill Chalari.
Yeah?
Yeah, They go off each other. It's a good time. I just love them so much.
Who's the most intense guy? The one guy you can't bother on the bus ride to an away game. He's got his headphones in. Just you don't want to ruffle his feathers.
For that, I'd say Kris, our second baseman. He's definitely the most turned-on guy at all times. Even in practice, he's always 110% at all times, and I just love to have him next to me on the infield, and I just feed off his energy.
You try to get in his head a little bit, try to get him to relax?
Occasionally, but when it's a big game, you can't do that with him.
Gotcha. Good stuff, man. Thanks for taking a few minutes, and good luck today against Gloucester Catholic.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
You got it, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
That was Kris Morgenweck from St. Augustine Prep.